Hello and welcome to Decent Music Live, a brand new project that looks at the very best in up and coming Irish acts in the scene today. This project will look at specifically exciting bands that will no doubt grace the stages of venues and festivals alike. This next band comes from the Irish capital of Dublin City. This is a band that no doubt you're going to love. Introducing Either Side of the City.
Talking like I wanna know what you're saying. You're doing all this fighting like I wanna know what you're thinking. You keep coming around like I wanna see it, but I don't wanna see it. I don't wanna see it anymore. Walk some loving, darling? Well, I got nothing for you. You want some loving, darling? You gotta find someone new. You keep coming around like I wanna see it, but I don't wanna see it. I don't wanna see it anymore. Get yourself through that door. Walk yourself down that road. All you're doing is bring me doing it. Bring me down. Bring me
That was an absolutely brilliant performance from either side of the city. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. I'm joined by the band here with the lead singer, Michaela Shevlin. How are you feeling after that performance?
Feeling pretty good. We don't have our lead guitarist here, Dom. He is not well at the moment, but I think we did okay. With the takes we did, I'm pretty happy with my vocals and stuff. Like those two songs, My Heart Breaks For You was written about one of me and Dom's friends, and he wrote that when we were in college together. And then I Don't Want to See You Anymore, we wrote as a band together when we were in rehearsal. Just kind of, we started jamming, and I started screaming over what we were doing, and just kind of came together. And that's kind of like, that's my favourite way to write a song, is when we're all doing it together, jamming out, yeah.
Nice. Ryan Lushin, how did you guys find it?
Yeah, it was very, very cool. I got my own stage, so I was absolutely delighted with myself. But yeah, it was really, really cool as well. And just the songs that we've all come up with, like, together as well. We all have our own kind of unique way of putting together a song. So, and I think it's probably the coolest part about when we're writing music together. So just putting those two songs out together was really, really fun.
Yeah, I also found it very fun, especially because I had to pick apart both Dom and myself's part to be able to make it sound like a whole song with just the one guitarist. I think I managed to string it together okay, and then of course Dave with his bass solos saved my life by adding some depth to the song rather than it just being linear and flat. But I think they came together quite well.
Nice one. I suppose I'll ask the normal question here. How did either side of the city, how did that come across? Like, how do you guys meet?
So I met Dom through my friend Ryan Grace, who produced our first song, This Time You're Lonely. And it's on all streaming platforms. Got a plug, but yeah, no, we met through Ryan, and then I started doing their sound engineering course in Dunleary in DFEI, where we met the lovely Dave, who was originally in another band, and we were like, you are an incredible bassist and singer and musician.
Didn't want me, so.
And we were like, we need you, and we grabbed him. And I know me and Oisin were in a band with Ryan Grace actually when we were teenagers. We all went to secondary school together.
Young.
All the babies. So we've known each other for years and have written music together for years. And then lovely Ryan here works with Dom and we were like, well, we'd love to have you as our drummer, please. And very graciously agreed.
How could I say no? I was delighted to say yes. So yeah.
That was in near the end of 2024, like mid 2024, and we had our first gig was in the Workman's Cellar, and it was for Simon charity. Simon charity, and we had no set list, we had no songs.
Very much on the fly.
We had like 2 months to learn how to be a band together, write the music, and then perform it. But I think we did like okay. What do you
For our
guys?
first gig, obviously, but then like I think we kind of fell in love with the idea of being in a band together, and then it was just kind of go, trying to get gigs, trying to record, practicing as much as possible.
Trying to record before we find a new song that we want to focus
Yeah.
on.
There's always those issues when recording, you're trying to always find the right sound and trying to make it sound as good as possible. Try not to be too much a perfectionist, but it's going good. I love being in the band.
Fantastic. I have to say, that chemistry that you talk about, like how you guys love writing songs together and stuff like that, it really comes across in the performances that you just did there. That's why I want to ask, like, how does the songwriting process come about in either side of the city?
I think it comes about in so many different ways. Like a lot of times, people like Dom, will bring forward songs that we've written, or we'll just be most of the time. It's like we're jamming after, like in between practicing our set list, in Avenue Road Studios where we practice, and we're just jamming in between. And we're like, hey, I kind of like that,
Yeah.
and then we'll write on top of that. But yeah, what we're focusing on now is kind of trying to get what we have recorded, which is our biggest struggle at the moment. We're very lucky that we have so many people around us who are in music, that we know so many sound engineers and people want to work with us. It's just kind of we can be quite perfectionists with
Not
how
a
the
bad
work
thing.
comes out. Yeah, sometimes to our own detriment.
We've
but
5 different creative inputs, and not in a bad way where it's clashing, but it's just like each one of us, we all have like vast music tastes, but also vastly different ideas from what we want to take with our influence and put it into our music.
Yeah.
And I think that leads to some unique enough sounds coming out of some of our songs, and especially in our writing process, because like Dave might come to us with like a funky bass line, and then Dom might want to put a heavy riff on it, and I might want to put some like fuzzy chords over it. It might come together differently depending on that, but yeah.
I suppose you can't make that sort of thing. It has to come naturally, I suppose. You mentioned there about like your music tastes and stuff like that. What is the kind of artist, the kind of music that influences your songwriting process?
Myself personally, I've 2 majorly different ones. It would be probably Elliott Smith and then Slipknot.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
A very broad range.
Very broad range. They're probably my 2 biggest influences. But I know for each one of us, we'll have similarities across some of our favourites. But then, like, Michaela, you'd be...
Oh, like, I mean, I'm a massive Amy Winehouse fan. I think, like, it's gonna...
Has to be said, so am
it's
I,
Amy
to be fair.
Winehouse, like, but yeah, no, I really do go across the board. I listen to a lot of... At the moment, I'm listening to a lot of 70s funk, which me and Dave have been chatting about a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And share music. One of the albums that I've had on repeat is, which I was talking to you about earlier,
Yes. Yeah.
Maggot Brain.
Funkadelic.
I've had on repeat. But yeah, I don't know. I think when I'm sitting down to write music, I'm going to mention Phoebe Bridgers. I'm going to mention Fiona Apple. Like, there's going to be so many. X-ray specs, polystyrene.
Yes.
There's so many different influences you can throw in there. Because, I don't know, when you're writing music, I think it's so important that you're not kind of listening to one thing. Because then you're not going to be making anything new.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing about our band is, we have great chemistry, we all get on really well, we enjoy writing music together, but we all have so many different influences that we bring, like, there's so much conversation to have around our music.
Of course.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? Because Dave is an incredible, like, oh my God, incredible musician.
I wouldn't say all that now, but it
Just
just
did.
like it varies. Like I'm a very like just like on a weekly or bi-weekly like change of music styles. Like I could go listening to like 50s crooners to 60s psychedelic to 70s funk, punk, hardcore. It really varies. I couldn't like put it down for one, but because I know these guys are kind of like, we have the heavier kind of sound, and I always like, my idea is always trying to work for the crowd in terms of trying to get them to move, trying to give them the best night possible, have a couple of laughs, get their friends and family out and have a good time, and have people bouncing up and down, bouncing off the walls, you know. So I'd be like a little bit of like a Minor Threat, but kind of mixed with a bit of Stone Roses, psychedelia, a bit of funk in there as well.
Brilliant, yeah.
It really varies. I couldn't even put my finger down on one in particular.
That's class. I've asked this question before to other bands, but I'd like to ask you this now. Let's say there's somebody who's going to see your band for the first time and they have no idea who you guys are. How would you describe an either side of the city gig?
A gig.
Chaos.
That's a good word.
I think I'd just describe it as like anyone could go. Like I feel like our music
please
is
go.
Please go. I feel like our music is very accessible. It's a very like I don't think it's difficult to listen to. And from when people have come up and talked to us, people tend to enjoy our gigs. But like I don't have experience really before this band performing. The three of us don't have experience in bands really before either side of the city. So I guess I would say I learned a lot from Dave and from Dom, kind of in stage presence and watching YouTube videos of Amy Winehouse. X-Ray Spec. Honestly, just like a lot of videos from 70s gigs and stuff like that, 70s punk gigs. And yeah, I feel like that's probably my weakest strength is my stage presence. But
I think I'd say that.
Well, thanks guys, appreciate that. But,
Seem worse.
Wow. I have to say, I think your stage presence is fantastic there. Like even those performances don't lie. I feel like you guys look like you're having a lot of fun on that stage.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my last question before you go and make the top 40 hits again. What can we expect from either side of the city in the future?
That's a great question.
Recording, music up,
Gigs.
more gigs.
We'd love to release an EP this year. That's our goal. I'm not saying that we are going to.
Well, fair enough. You heard that here now.
We have the music written.
We have the music is there. It's written. It's about time management,
Executing
and
our vision.
execution that we are trying to achieve.
We have songs recorded, but it's just we're never happy at the end process.
Yeah.
Kind of like the last Lee Mavers, but we hopefully won't end up like you know, just completely dissolving before we can actually get music out. You know,
We're going into it with a slightly different idea of how we're going to record our next few tracks. I believe.
Okay.
We've had some conversations ourselves, and we think we've better hopes for this with getting closer to our vision and capturing our energy that we have on stage and trying to get that into the songs. I feel like that's one thing. I know myself, I struggle with it, getting that like liveliness some of our songs would have when we perform it live, and because that's our only experience, or at least for myself, would be rather than recording and going into a very clinical scenario where you have the click in your ear and you're just kind of drumming away over and over on the same few bars. It's a bit different, so we have a few ideas to put it together.
It's hard when you're going into the studio to record because you're so used, because a lot of like you're recording by yourself. So sometimes I'm like singing to the track and I'm like, oh, where are my boys? Where are my boys? And like we're so used to having that chemistry live, and like we only really have experience playing together. So when you're like doing it by yourself, you feel a bit lonely, like and trying to
it's not the same.
muster up all that energy yourself is difficult, but especially when you've been like in the studio for 12 hours, you've had a little nap and you wake up and you're like, right, I have to sing now. But yeah, hopefully March will be a promising month. Fingers
This
crossed.
will be a
Here
promising
first.
year, though, 100%.
You heard it here first, folks. March. Well, it sounds like
Hold us to
exciting
that.
times. It sounds like exciting times for a band, and anyways, you guys sound like you are at the top of the game right now. And to be honest with you, I really look forward to every other, upcoming release that you make. So this was Either Side of the City, a Dublin 5-piece band that no doubt will be at the top of the game in the near future. Thanks so much thanks so much for watching Decent Music Live. My name is Dylan Dowling. Good night.